Hold my beer.
A lot of the things that I do report on this channel actually are the facts. I'm Satan, basically. I understand that as a public figure, my job means that I will be criticized, and I am fine with that. Bull crap, okay? I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if everyone talks about me. No. Talk about me. I talk about people all the time. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do. You can monetize the hell out of me. I don't care. Talk about me. She's a nasty, vile human being that needs to be held accountable.
Well, hey, y'all, and welcome back to Janet being Janet. Okay, so I think I figured something out. All right, I think I figured something out. I think Miss Katie gets over on Insta and decides she's going to, test the waters over there, stick a little pinky toe in there and see how it feels, because she ended up bringing a video talking about Taylor over to her YouTube channel. Yeah, and it goes into Blake. Of course, we have to use Taylor for some clickbait. We absolutely do. But y'all want to hear how she changes her tone about Taylor after going for the Swifties? Told you, you don't do it. Let's go, Katie. Goodness gracious, y'all ready for this? Yeah, and if you've already done that, unsubscribe from me because I haven't been doing Miss Katie content. She's giving me more to talk about. She absolutely is right now. So if I ever have anything that I can talk about, trust me, I'm going to be here.
Hi, besties. So much has been going on.
Hey, just so you know, we're not your besties. I tell you that every single time. Quit calling us your besties. I understand that it's making your numbers go up, but still, ain't nobody your bestie. You don't even know how to be a bestie. You admitted that yourself.
Because Taylor Swift released a new album. I know. It's called Life of a Showgirl. It's been massively successful. It's a highly divisive album because some of the Swifties love it, some of the Swifties hate it.
And what are you, Miss Katie? Are you a Swiftie? Are you going to go ahead and call yourself a Swiftie? I'm just wondering because all of a sudden you sure do like her.
I was lukewarm on it. I did listen to the whole thing. I'm not a Swiftie, but I have been.
There you go. She's not a Swiftie, guys, which means if you're not a Swiftie, it means you're not die hard for Taylor Swift.
A enjoyer of Taylor Swift music for a long time. So when I say,
how are you an enjoyer of her music? How? Y'all get in the comments below and explain that to me. Didn't she go after Taylor for being America's sweetheart? Didn't she go after Taylor several times for it? She went after Taylor for being friends with Blake in the first place. She's constantly gone after Taylor. So, of course, she can't be a Swiftie.
Say that, my lukewarm reaction was just like, oh, I feel like I've heard some of these songs before. Feels a little bit boring. But at the same time,
Taylor Swift boring? Really, Miss Katie? Have you taken a look at your own content?
It was happy music and nice to hear that Taylor's in love. And amid all of that, there's a song on.
You could care less if she's in love. You could care less if somebody's happy. You absolutely could. Don't even get on here and try to pretend like you are going to be sitting here going, Taylor, I'm just so proud for you. I really am. I'm proud of you for releasing this album. I'm proud of you for doing so many good things in life. That's not you. Quit lying to these people.
On it called Canceled, which some people think is about Blake Lively. And
No, that was you. That was you. You said that you wanted this album to be about Blake Lively. And Taylor didn't deliver it to you, so you're disappointed.
I really don't know, honestly. This was recorded before she really fell out with Taylor. It was recorded in the...
Told you, it's supposed to be all about Blake, but now all of a sudden Miss Katie knows the details about Taylor's album. Kind of fishy now, ain't it?
Summer and spring, or spring and summer of 2024. And the last time that Blake and Taylor were seen together was in October of 24, when she and Blake went out to dinner with their husbands. Well, Taylor's future husband, Travis.
We understand that she's engaged. We absolutely understand she's engaged. But you know what? You can tell you're talking about her really negatively right now. And you're going to get yourself in trouble if you don't watch it, Miss Thing. The Swifties don't play. I done told you that. I warned you several times, but you did it anyways.
Her and fiance. That was before they were engaged. And they went out for dinner, and that's the last time they were photographed. And then there's been this kind of weird distancing since the whole lawsuit, and the dragon text messages came out, and Taylor got dragged into this lawsuit. And so there's a lot of speculation by fans.
Not by fans, by you. You speculate completely and totally about the whole relationship between Taylor and Blake. You still don't know if it's sincerely over or not. You really don't know that. And this right here tells you, absolutely tells you, that she doesn't know what friendship is.
That Taylor and Blake have somehow made up. And, I'll believe it when I see it. And further fueling that
Do I think that they've made up? No, I don't think that they've made up. But you know what? It ain't none of my daggum business.
speculation is this podcast that was created by Travis Kelce and his brother on New Heights, going over the film, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which actually was uploaded in 2024 on October 16th. Around the same time, they saw.
Why are you going over his podcast constantly? You're always including clips of his podcast. Leave that man alone. Leave him alone. Leave Taylor alone. You do Blake content. You stick with Blake. Absolutely. You need to just stick with Blake because guess what? I'm going to do a video over how many times she says it's over for Blake.
Blake and Ryan for the last time. So at that time, Blake and Taylor were definitely friends. Okay. And they definitely still loved her. So I don't know why, but basically New Heights podcast decided that they were going to allow all of their bonus content that they had previously withheld and only allowed paid subscribers to hear.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the absolute thing. She's talking about Taylor. You think this video is going to be about Taylor, right? Ooh, let me surprise you.
Decided to post it and it's all free now for everyone. And
we know Miss Katie would pay for it if she absolutely had to. She ain't afraid to just shell it out whenever she thinks she can get a good story.
Are uploading the bonus content now to their YouTube channel, and so it appears as though this is a brand new episode. But if you go to the podcast website or you go to like Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen, you'll notice that this was actually made on October 16th, 2024. And in it,
and if y'all want to know why I clicked on this video and why I'm doing this video, it's because she had it on Taylor. Absolutely, it's about Taylor, and you know how I feel about her talking about Taylor. And y'all remember, and Miss Katie, you remember, these are just my opinions and only my opinions, and that's all they're ever going to be. You're allowed to give yours, I'm allowed to give mine.
They say they love Blake Lively. So now TMZ is running with the headline that Travis and Jason love Blake, and this is a proof that their friendship is back on with Blake. Also, further driving speculation is that Taylor wore a bracelet that Blake wore at the premiere of It Ends With Us, which...
We're conspiring about a daggum bracelet. Absolutely, we are going over a daggum bracelet. Why? Because Miss Katie didn't have anything to say for the day, and when she ain't got something to say, she's got to make it up. She ain't like me. She don't just move on.
By the way, again, everything in this album that she just made was completed in spring and summer of 24. So she very well could have been wearing Blake's bracelet at the time, or she could have her own. Either way, she was still friends with Blake when she wrote the music and when she...
Somebody tell me what a bracelet has to do with anything. Why are we looking so far into this daggum bracelet? We know they were friends, and sometimes you get friendship bracelets, Miss Katie. I understand you never got one, but goodness gracious, don't blame everybody else for having friends.
Was doing all the artwork for it. The kind of content that she's creating here isn't just made overnight. She literally said that this was produced and all of it was done more than a year ago. Okay. And that was when she was still friends with Blake. So much to say about our Blake and Taylor friends.
Our Blake. Our Blake. I don't claim Blake Lively. A lot of people don't claim Blake Lively. But you know what? You go ahead and you make her our Blake.
And I don't know. I really don't know.
If you don't know something, keep your daggum trap shut. It ain't that difficult.
See them together? I don't know. Would I side eye?
I understand you don't know. There's a lot of things you don't know. You get on here and run your mouth just like I do. That's why you're a commentary channel.
Hey, Taylor, if after all of this, after Blake making up all of these lies about her and dragging her into this lawsuit and using her as a tool for clout, I think it would be hard to come back from that. Now, the Daily Mail, who is notorious for being a Leslie Sloan mouthpiece, is claiming that they have had some conversation.
We're talking about mouthpiece. Y'all go down there and buy one of them cups where I did Satan's mouthpiece. Those were her words, and I just decided, hey, why not go ahead and turn them on her?
And forgiveness was provided, but this...
And if y'all want shirts or something, y'all just let me know. You know what? I'm here for you.
It was already shared like months ago, and that while, they're working on building their trust, that's a narrative that we've heard for months, it still doesn't...
You already write your own daggum narrative, Miss Katie. You do. Every single time you do a video, every time you do a post, you want everything to be your way and only your way. And you know what? It shows in the comment sections.
It sound like they're going to be besties. And again, until I actually see them together, I don't believe it. But it keeps all of you interested. And I think the most telling is...
And the most important thing is to keep everybody interested over on your channel, because once this case is over, this whole entire thing is over for you, covering Blake.
That despite everything, Taylor still doesn't want to take a side in this feud. And I just think if you are someone's ride or die and you like your friends canceled and you support people and you make your own decisions on people because of your experience with them, not what other people tell you, you would support a friend in a situation like this.
Ooh, how do you know how to support a friend and how not to support a friend? If they're not friends, they're not friends. If they are friends, they are friends. It ain't none of your daggum business. Quit using Taylor. Just stop it.
Why wouldn't she? If it was true, why wouldn't she? She supported Kesha. She herself was a victim and won. If she truly believed Blake, she would support her, and if she was friends with Blake, she would support her. But she doesn't, and she doesn't want to. And that tells me everything I need to know. And
Oh, you already know everything. You knew everything before you even got on this whole Blake story. You knew who you were going to come after because the first time you started putting Taylor in your videos, you started getting those clicks because people care about Taylor Swift, and most people don't care about Blake Lively. And there's a lot of people that are over the content already.
And if she did engage with Blake, I would definitely side-eye Taylor and realize that Taylor just doesn't really have great discernment when it comes to friends.
How many friends you got? How many actual friends do you got? When you get friends and you know what friends are, then you can come talk to us. Until then, you keep your trap shut, woman.
Okay, but in the middle of all of that, while all of this propaganda is floating on the internet, the judge has ruled a couple things that might be interesting to you. First of all, the issue.
If it's interesting to Miss Kaiti, it's got to be interesting to you. That's the only thing she does a video over. Come on, Miss Kaiti, do one over Miss Amy. I'm waiting.
Issues with the motion for judgment on the pleadings and the summary judgment. Basically, he decided to keep his calendar the way it was. He didn't want to make as many changes because he has a specific docket. His clerks are doing specific things, and he doesn't want to mess with the docket. And instead of dismissing the judgment on the pleadings, instead he told Blake
she wants her case dismissed. She absolutely does. She's over there on Insta just going and crazy all about Robert Shin. As soon as she's done on her little posting spree, I'm going to bring you that video, so y'all stick around.
And Justin, listen, I'm going to look at both of these, and I'm going to have Blake can respond to the summary judgment and to the judgment motion for the judgment on the pleading on the same date in November on the 19th, and that's when her responses are due. He denied her extension for time because he said she didn't have grounds for it, but then he said, in order to keep things streamlined, you can respond to both at the same time, and then
Miss Kaiti's used to things getting denied in the legal system. She absolutely is. It drives her insane when she does. She gets over there and she starts talking all about it. That's why I bring it to you. So if y'all don't want to watch my Insta videos, let me tell you something. You need to.
Will rule on them concurrently, meaning that he will be looking at them at the exact same time. He has two ways to get rid of Blake's case, and he also made kind of a signal that some of the claims might get dismissed because he said, I want to be able to rule on a summary judgment and give you guys time to prepare with what's left.
Has anybody, okay, just asking the question here, has anybody considered that Miss Kaiti only knows how to talk about this case because she's involved in so many cases herself? Has anybody thought that? I mean, honestly, let's think about it. She talks about dismissal. She's talking about deposition. She's talking about all these different things that she's already been through and she's already had to handle. And even trying to do a settlement, she's already had to go through all of this stuff. So she knows what she's talking about from her own experience. Well, shouldn't you look at Miss Kaiti at that point and be like, okay, why are you always in so much trouble? Why are you even involved in this whole situation anyways? Why did you get a subpoena from Blake? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? People don't question her. They just listen to her. And you know what? That sometimes gets dangerous, my opinion.
In this case, if he wasn't going to dismiss anything, he wouldn't say stuff like that. So I think everyone knows that there's claims here that are going to get tossed, and he just wants everything so that they can stay on track for their calendar. And civil cases in federal court have lower precedent than criminal cases, okay?
That's usually the way it happens in every court, not just federal.
And they're less willing to be flexible with civil cases because criminal cases come first. Speedy trial is a whole constitutional right. And so they need to make sure that the criminal cases the judges are assigned to have precedent so that the people that are being criminally prosecuted can go to trial and they're not delayed. And in this case, he doesn't want to mess up his schedule. And so a lot of people think that he's siding with Blake, and I just really didn't see it that way. In fact, I saw it as this is going to be hard for Blake because she's going to have to do.
Why is everything always going to be so hard for Blake? And why are you always making videos over, it's over, it's over, it's over? I'll be glad when it's over so we can get back to content that I can actually try to stand to somewhat watch and listen to you. It's almost impossible some days, okay? The only reason why I know about certain videos of Miss Kaiti's is because they play on my daggum headset. Because I do Miss Kaiti content, Miss Kaiti's content pulls up. So occasionally I run across things like this. But like I said, this one, it was because of Taylor.
And responded to dispositive motions at the exact same time, knowing that on the one hand, she's going to have to defend the pleadings, and then on the other hand, she's going to have to defend the facts.
And Miss Kaiti right now is trying to defend herself against Robert Shin, and she ain't doing a very good job.
And those might be contradictory, and ultimately, the judge is going to have two ways to get rid of her claims. That's a lot of pressure. All right.
Aren't you under a lot of pressure right now? Because you're trying to change the public opinion of yourself is what you're trying to do. That's why you're over there posting so much about Robert.
Blow for Blake is that Blake has tried to hide evidence in this case, okay? And there's a new decision in the courts in federal court, and it's that documents that are sealed are no longer on the public docket.
And that right there upsets Miss Kaiti 100% because when she's doing her story, she wants to know the ins, outs, ups, and downs of everything so that she can make even more bang bang on this thing.
Documents are not uploaded onto the docket anymore. And I'm assuming this is to ensure that
Which means she no longer has access for them.
mistakes, like if a document is sealed and then it's not really sealed, ends up getting disseminated. It reduces that. So documents that are sealed are held at the court, and instead a placeholder is made and says, like, this is where this document is. But
you hear how she's not saying like. It's because she's got something to say in this video. There's a lot of times she ain't got nothing to say. She just makes the video. And why people stick around and listen to her, I don't know. Why y'all stick around and listen to me, I don't know. You know, I've questioned myself a couple of times of that. But you know what? I appreciate you.
But once it's unsealed, it doesn't automatically end up on the docket because of this new change. But
oh, don't worry, Miss Katie will be there going refresh. I want this. Kind of like Taylor's text. Y'all remember that? She was getting herself in a little uproar whenever she couldn't get those.
In the future, these documents could very well become public, because if there's another filing with these documents, they cannot be sealed. And what are the issues and what are the things that she has been trying to hide? Two big pieces.
Okay, you go ahead and exploit it to the best ability you possibly can, Miss Katie.
That she was fighting to keep completely secret. Blake's declarant that accused Justin Baldoni of verbal abuse and making them uncomfortable is going to become public, okay? In his
Okay, you hear that? Okay, it means that she's getting excited.
order, he says, lively asserts that the declarant's privacy interests outweigh any presumption of public access, and there is
and if this woman could not read, I'm telling you right now, if she could not read, we wouldn't be getting these videos, because that's the only way she knows what's going on. If she has dug so daggum deep into these court cases that she knows them in and out, and it's actually really, really sad, but she can take some of Blake's case and use it on her own. I mean, that's just my opinion, because she is getting knowledge after all.
No public interest in exposing the declarant to possible online scrutiny and attacks, given the substance of the relevant information is already in the record.
But you know why? You remember whenever I used to always ask you, why do you read these, Katie? Why do you read these? You cannot paraphrase absolutely anything. Why do you have to read these word for word? I know why now, or I believe I know why. I think I know why. Maybe I'm just assuming, but you know what? I think it's because she don't know what she's talking about half the time.
Wayfarers opposed it, continued sealing on the grounds that the memorandum of law selectively quotes from audio recordings that Sarwa should be allowed to have the recording made public to ensure accuracy and provide context. And he sided with Wayfair. And he had a whole lot of reasons. And it's all about, if you have big documents that are tied to dispositive motions, like she wants sanctions on these, she's asking them to get paid. Like, judge, you need to pay me. And the other ones,
oh, you're wanting to get paid by your subscribers. You absolutely are. If you had the ability to let these people donate to you like they've been wanting to donate to you so you can go after Blake, then you would absolutely go after them. But I don't think you can do that, because I don't think it would be right for you to do that. But you still took money off of your subscribers whenever you said you were going to take a break from here when Todd had his issue. Yes, I'm going to tell y'all that over and over, because a lot of y'all don't watch her videos. And I'm telling you, she got herself some bank that day.
Are on a motion judgment on the pleading. You don't just get to keep things sealed if they are tied to big motions, is what he found. He says, Lively's underlying motion seeks fees and costs and treble and punitive damages against the Wayfair parties. This is the kind of motion.
And Katie, she brags about how much she has spent on this case. Absolutely brags about it. That's not something I would do.
To which a strong presumption of public access applies. And the privacy interest Lively has identified, namely that the declarant's identity is insufficient to overcome that presumption. Although the court is cognizant of the media-driven narrative of this case, he kind of says exactly what I said. The declarant's identity is not...
I wonder why he said exactly what you said. Could it be that you pre-read these documents? Could that be the possibility? You pre-read them so you could say, oh, wait. I know what this means. So by the time you got to the words, now you know how to paraphrase it. Possibility? I think so.
The kind of information traditionally considered private rather than public, noting that medical information and information about minors are among the types of information that are considered private. The declarant's identity is also not unverified, and preventing disclosure of Exhibit 1, the audio recording, would limit a fair opportunity for the subject to respond to any accusation contained therein.
We have a lot of accusations against you, and guess what? They're just accusations unless we prove it. And me, I always try to offer y'all proof of everything I say. Why? Because I think it needs to be said.
And she has only quoted portions of the recording. The non-party, moreover, has voluntarily participated in this case by submitting a declaration detailing certain accusations against parties. Therefore, it must be unsealed. And then he also said that Wayfair kind of gave them a branch and said, you don't have to expose the identity of the declarant. And he said, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you're not supposed to expose the identity of your sources, but anybody who becomes your source, as soon as you need to, you go bye-bye, you automatically give them up. So I don't understand why people trust you and still talk to you behind the scenes.
Because the contents of the audio will make clear who the declarant is, and we're just...
Have y'all noticed? Yes, I'm pausing her a lot because, Miss Katie, this is commentary. But have y'all noticed she used to be talking about, oh, I watched this episode or this podcast, or oh, hey, I watched watched, this channel. Oh, the two brothers or the lawyers or something like that. I can't remember everything, but you remember how she used to always say that? And she would repeat certain words that they said. Have you noticed she stopped doing that? There's nobody on her side anymore. Now, that's my opinion. I don't think there's any content creators backing her up. She still talks about the little channel, the small channel, but I think she's using that channel against people. That's what I think. It's just my opinion.
Just going to put it all out.
And y'all know I give y'all my opinion all the daggum time. This ain't no different than any other video I do.
So that document is unsealed. And what I think is good about that is it's not allowing Blake to cherry pick and misquote parts of a broader conversation. And if the broader conversation provides context for Sarowitz, it might not seem as bad as Blake has made it appear. And we all know that Blake has...
You make everything appear so bad. So bad. You even did this to Taylor. You don't understand. This makes Taylor look absolutely horrible because you're saying they could be friends. And you could say that Taylor is a hypocrite. You really could say that off this video because Miss Katie doesn't know if they're going to be friends again. But Taylor stood up for one person and another person, but she's not going to stand up against Blake. How dare she? You hear what I'm saying?
Has a history of making things look really bad that aren't necessarily bad. Like she said, I was a part of this smear campaign and I am not.
And you say that we're part of Robert Clinton and Robert Shin's little clique. And guess what? I am not. If you get to say that you aren't, why can't everybody else say, hey, we're not? Because most of us, we just don't like you, Katie. I don't hate her because I'm not built of hate. I know some of y'all do, and that's perfectly fine by me. Each their own. But you know what? I ain't part of Robert. I never have been, never will be.
Okay. He also is going to be unsealing parts of a deposition.
She didn't take good notes. Absolutely didn't. That's the reason why she's pausing so much.
Because nobody else came to the court and asked to remain under seal. Details about Jed Wallace's medical condition.
You know, Katie was right there going, unseal, 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 unseal.
Will remain sealed. And then here's the other part that I thought was hilarious. Do you remember how I said that Blake wanted to keep her CRD complaint sealed and had filed it under seal? So it says Wayfarer's motion on 8/12.
So it says, which means she's going to be reading once again. This woman is so daggone boring. Okay, I cover boring people. I really, really do. And Katie is pretty much right there with them at this point.
12 seeks sealing of Exhibits 1 and 2 filed in support of the motion for the judgment on the pleadings. Exhibit I-1 is an agreement between Blake Inc. and It Ends With Us movie and related to the film It Ends With Us, and it contains confidential and sensitive information. Exhibit 2 is a complaint and right to sue letter filed with the California Civil Rights Division.
So everybody has a right to sue. Doesn't mean that your lawsuit's going to go through. But they have a right to sue.
The Wayfarer party's letter does not elaborate in any detail why this information is sensitive or must be maintained under seal. It's only that Blake basically filed it confidential. Moreover, given that these documents were filed along
when she says words like moreover, yeah, you know she's reading because she don't use language like that.
With a dispositive motion for judgment on the pleadings, a strong presumption of public access attaches to the materials. The parties are therefore directed to file a letter with the court by October 8th indicating whether they...
See, I would bring you... Here we go, here we go, here we go. I would bring you Miss Katie's court records. I really would, but I wouldn't put my opinion in on them. I would just read them to you because I know some of y'all can't see the screen. So I would just read them to you and let you know what's going on. I would only put my opinion in, in certain spots, but that's it. And so I choose not to bring the whole case of Miss Katie against you or to you that is against her just because I haven't been here the entire time. I do apologize. But if, you're interested in just me reading to you, then hey, I will do that for you.
They in fact wish the information to be maintained under sealed, and if so, explaining why such sealing is justified. So Blake and Wayfarer have to justify why they want to keep the letter of her CRD complaint under seal, which I think is a really good move. Like, Blake, you've already put this out publicly, and why is this private? That's kind of...
Hey, you put things out all the time publicly, and then you delete because you are a dirty deleter.
What are you saying? So Blake's attempt to conceal the identity of the declarant and misconstrue or only quote from a portion of an audio clip is denied. And
all you show are portions of audio clips whenever you do your intro to your videos.
We are, at some point, I don't know how it'll get released because right now, again, when something is unsealed, you can't get it directly from the docket. You have to go to the court now. So I don't know how this will work. But
so exactly how is Miss Katie going to get her hands on these documents, guys? How is she going to do it? Don't worry, we're not done talking about Taylor.
It will become available soon enough. We will know who this person was that accused Justin Baldoni of verbal abuse and the contents of that audio. My suspicion is that in the...
Hey, don't put your suspicions out there. No. You can say allegedly. You can absolutely say allegedly, but you know what? You don't need to be putting your opinions out there so much, Miss Katie. That's what gets yourself in trouble.
Context of what they're talking about. It'll be clear that what was said was not said in a way that Blake says it was said. You know, if I've learned anything about Blake Lively is that she has very skewed, or at least her attorneys have a way of misconstruing information and presenting it to the court most favorable to them, which is
Pot meat kettle? Do I need to even say anything? I don't think I need to say a daggum thing.
what they do. But at times that makes it look like they're lying, because once you see the whole context, you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't even mean what you said. It's like when Blake said that I was part of a smear campaign and being paid.
See, she can't let go of that. She absolutely can't let go of that. She doesn't like being called a smear campaign. She doesn't like being called a minion, pretty much, and neither does anybody else. If we talk about you, Miss Katie, it's because we want to talk about you. It doesn't have anything to do with Robert. It's because of your actions, the things you do, the things you say, the things you post. It's all about you.
Val Baldoni with no proof. She knew she was doing too much, you guys. So that's what we
And you are doing way too much these days.
Have for right now. And I don't really know what's going to happen. And if these documents become unsealed and I can see them, we can talk about it. But
what did I tell you? What did I tell you? She's waiting on them documents just like the same way she was waiting on Taylor's text. Play, Katie. Katie, play. She don't listen. She never listens.
Taylor and Blake, I'm still on the fence. I don't know. I really don't think Canceled is about her. I think it's about everyone. And lukewarm to Taylor's new album.
So in other words, she's not a Swiftie. Y'all, she's not going to be a Swiftie. She may like a little bit of the album, but you know what? She's not impressed by the album. She's not impressed by Taylor, okay? She never has been. And she's getting on here lying to these besties, thinking that, you know, oh, well, I like Taylor. I've always liked Taylor. No, you haven't. Absolutely no, you haven't. You've called her the mean girl.
Happy for sure in the new album, and she definitely loves Travis, and for that I'm very happy for her. If she decides
you are not happy for anybody, you really are not. You will never be happy for anybody.
Decides to make up with Blake, I will side eye and question if I still like Taylor Swift.
Who cares? You don't like Taylor Swift. You don't like her. I need to go find that video where you called her America's sweetheart and called her the mean girl. You don't like Taylor Swift. Quit lying to these people. Be honest with these people. You cannot stand Taylor Swift. You have said that. Not to those words, but you have said that. And now then that the Swifties have come after you, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm scared. You go ahead and admit you're scared, because whenever it comes down to them, they don't play. Absolutely do not play.
And Blake's attempt to hide evidence is denied. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.
I just gave you all of my thoughts on this entire video and what I think Miss Katie is pulling and what Miss Katie's going to be pulling and what Miss Katie's doing.
It's below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure
yeah, y'all go ahead and either thumbs up it, thumbs down, and if you don't like me, just thumbs down it. It's perfectly fine with me, because you know what? Y'all are in control.
Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and resubscribe to my channel. Go ahead, do it. Go hit the button. Go hit the button. Go ahead. Right there. Right there. It's free for you to do.
And click the bell so you never miss a video.
Yeah, and you got to click your bell to all unless you don't want to see me post. If I'm going to post about Miss Katie, I'll tell you right now, if I'm going to post about Miss Katie, y'all come first in the morning. So, not like 2:30, because, you know, sometimes I schedule my videos for then, but like around 8, 9, 10, I'm telling you, if it's around that time and there's a Miss Katie video, y'all are coming first and y'all are going to get it. And that's just the way it is around here. And yeah, I still do videos on other people, and I do it because, you know what, I enjoy my channel, and I hope you do too.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.
Bye, besties. Bye, besties. Yeah, you know what? Y'all are my people. Y'all are my subscribers. Y'all are the people that listen to me. I'm not going to get on here and be fake with you and go, hey, y'all. Y'all are so my besties. I'm not going to do that. Miss Katie is as fake as they come sometimes. Absolutely. And I hope I proved that in this daggum video. I might have gone on too long for some of y'all, but you know what? That's what I do, okay? That's what I do. I talk a lot, and it just happens that way because I want to get my point across. But anyways, I still got more videos to do on Miss Katie, so y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this, and you remember to smile today or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. It absolutely can. And sometimes I really enjoy talking about Miss Katie, and I can't help it. All right, she just does some things that just irk me, but she never gets in my mind. All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Bye. Get over there. Hit the button. Bye.